Welcome to iRose, and on this channel I talk about addiction and life after addiction because, yes, there is life after addiction. So today I wanted to talk about the adderall shortage and how I think this is related to the fentanyl epidemic that we're experiencing. And I also want to provide you with some tips and harm reduction. Knowledge is power here. So stick around to the end of the video for that information. It was declared on October 12th, and apparently there's an increased demand and they're having manufacturing issues and labor shortages at their plant. It's called Teva. It's the immediate release formula. So apparently the FDA sets a limit on how many they can produce each year of Adderall, and they're at its limit as well. I mean, there's just a bunch of different factors. They did say that this shortage is temporary and that they're expecting to have stable inventory in the coming months. They're advising people to go to different pharmacies. Some people are checking up to like 15 different pharmacies to get their prescription filled, or to talk to their doctor about getting possibly a different prescription, a different type of drug for ADHD. And the reason why I wanted to bring this shortage up is because I see it being related to the fentanyl crisis that we're currently having. What's happening is that people are consuming drugs that they think are other drugs. So for instance, Xanax or cocaine, meth, they're purchasing these drugs from drug dealers thinking that that's what they're buying, but in fact, no, they're laced with fentanyl. And fentanyl, it only takes the tiniest dose to become lethal. The reason why this is happening is because these drug dealers are not cleaning their supplies. So when they're making different drugs and whatnot, there's just residue left over. And whenever they're being laced with these drugs, it's not spread evenly throughout the pill. It's just, it could be all on one side. So if you even took like half of a pill, essentially you don't know what you're getting. Last year, the DEA, who they patrol for illegal drugs, they seized over
9.5 million pills
last year in 2021. And guess what? 2 out of every 5 pills were laced with fentanyl. 2 out of every 5. That's a lot. I also wanted to show some images of what the counterfeit Adderall looks like. So you can tell in the stamps that they're not clean. The name brand stamps, they're clean cut, and the ones that are counterfeit are a little messy and clearly look a little sketchy. So hopefully before anyone takes a pill, they can look just to make sure and see. Once I had heard about, counterfeit pills and whatnot, I wanted to do a little research and see if anyone had thought that they were taking Adderall, but in fact it was laced with fentanyl. And apparently this happened earlier in May, in the beginning of May. 2 college students from Ohio State University thought that they were taking Adderall, but it was not. It was laced with fentanyl, and they did die from an overdose, thinking that it was Adderall. So this is why this is just so urgent, is that this has happened, and if anything, I mean, it's more than likely to keep happening. What I want to say is that, times are different now with this opioid epidemic. Like, people can't just experiment with drugs anymore because it can be fatal. I mean, all it takes, the saying now is 1 pill can kill. It's scary, to be honest. I mean, yeah, with fentanyl, you can't see it, smell it, or taste it. I mean, it's odorless, colorless, like it's just, you would have no idea that it's in the pill that you're taking. And it's 50 times more potent than heroin and 100 times more potent than morphine. And in 2021 alone, there were over 107,000 deaths related to overdose, and the majority were due to fentanyl. This is up 35% of deaths from 2020. So this is only going up. This is only getting worse. There's a risk every time you're taking something from a drug dealer that you don't know. And I wanted to share some tips of what we can do for harm reduction. I mean, people are still going to be taking drugs and it's still going to be a thing. I mean, so the only thing that we can do is just become more aware of how we can stop it from happening, the overdose. There are fentanyl test strips that are being distributed through the government. I believe that they're free through every state. I think you just Google free fentanyl test strips near me, and I think you should be able to get some delivered to you. They can detect fentanyl in pills, powders, and injectables. I'll leave a link in the description below about harmreduction.org. They have more information on fentanyl test strips and how to get access to those. Another thing that can be used to fight the fentanyl epidemic is Narcan. So I don't know if you're familiar with Narcan, but it's used for opioid overdoses. There's a nasal spray kit that you can get. You don't need a prescription in any state. You can go to your pharmacy and get it. I believe they're somewhat expensive. I'll link below because I think GoodRx has coupons that you can use, and I believe some states are also providing free Narcan. The thing is that, like, a misconception, something that I thought was that you just needed one Narcan and like you're done and then you're like revived back to life. This is not the case always. You might need more than one. They come in kits of 2. I think it's wise to keep, more than 2 on you if you do experiment with drugs. It's something that is going to become necessary, I believe, for everyone to have in case. This is a scary thing. I will leave a link in the description below too with more information about Narcan. Even if you know that you're not the one using drugs, it could be wise just to have the Narcan in case if you have friends that do, or just keep it in your car. The more that we can do to fight this, the better we will be. Yeah, so this was a little bit of a sombering video, but I just wanted to stress the importance of how knowledge is power, and yes, I actually agree, one pill can kill. So please stay safe out there. Happy Halloween. What else? Just take care, and yeah, leave a comment. Do you have anything to share with us? Like how we can avoid what's going on? How can we make this better? What can we do? Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you have a great day.